But it would be best siguro to be able to get a sense of both the defense and the prosecution. They seem to come to a consensus na unahin muna yung isang article, both defense, both prosecution and defense. For us, it will also be better because pagdating mo halimbawa ng Article 4 or 5, tapos hindi pa na-present ng defense evidence, presentation of witnesses yung defense, parang teka, pagbalik nila nung unang article, ano nga ba yung issue na rito? Di ba, makakalimutan or we will have to review or refresh our memories. So that might be a more practical and sensible approach. But we will have to play it by ear.
And you being the ones who made the rules anyway,
Yes.
can always change it.
Yes, we can. One is to amend it outright. Another option is call for a suspension of the rules. But this is not in the impeachment rules. This is in the Senate. So these are options that we can make. We can take para to fast track and to organize the presentation more effectively.
And then let's go to the matter at hand. Of course, PS Bank has a pending petition for a DRO on the disclosure of the dollar deposits. Let's just say, paano kung may lumabas, ano, dahil naka-unbank ang Supreme Court ngayon, ano ang magiging hakbang ng Senado?
Well, if you ask me, my personal
yes, of
view,
course.
I don't think the Supreme Court should step in. I think it should keep out this fray. We have the sole power to try and decide impeachment cases. And any interference from by way of judicial, if you ask me, is contrary to the Constitution. The impeachment court is a higher entity in this case, particularly because we are the disciplining authority over the court. So how can a disciplining authority be subjected to review by the institution whose member is being disciplined? So it clearly, as far as we are concerned, that is not contemplated by the Constitution. And second, to Justice Marshall, I don't know if it was John Marshall, in terms of interpreting the Constitution, the Supreme Court, the Constitution is what the Supreme Court says it is. And to borrow that analogy, the impeachment process is what the impeachment court says it is. In other words, no other entity can interfere, specifically because of the provision in the Constitution that says we have the sole power to try these cases. So judicial review is not, if you ask me, it's not available. Because ultimately, if we make mistakes, it is not judicial review that should correct it. Ultimately, this is a political process. It will be the people who will correct it. The sovereign will, and they should not vote us into office if they feel we made a mistake or we erred in our judgment.
Just to pursue that point, a final question from me. Siyempre, palaging sinasabi ng Senado na it's supreme on matters of impeachment. But also, yesterday, sinabi naman ninyo sa resolution ninyo when you rejected the prosecution's request for subpoena to the justices, you recognize naman din that the Supreme Court is a co-equal branch, etc. And therefore, you do not want to compel.
I manifested on the floor. I agree.
Medyo nalito ako doon sa...
I agreed as to the result, which is not to subpoena the justices. But I do not agree as to the reasoning, which is why I will be filing a separate concurring opinion. Concurring as to the result, but I believe that we are not co-equal when we exercise our power or our constitutional responsibility or duty to act as an impeachment.
Senator Kiko, yesterday I saw you trying to help PS Bank President Garcia. And I think the reason why we have come to this point really is that clash between the subpoena that was issued by the court, by the Senate Tribunal, and the right of PS Bank, or specifically President Garcia, to be free from criminal prosecution. Now, you tried to offer him a way out, you made a reference to the revised penal code, but is there some way for the Senate to try and perhaps
Avoid.
avoid this clash? Because can you confirm that you received this explanation today?
Yes, we did. But I just arrived and I went straight here. So it's in the office already. And we will be going through it. Wala nang focus kanina, so we will be discussing it probably, well, during this afternoon proceedings. You know, I was also studying it last night and this morning, and without abandoning or conceding that we have the right to subpoena these documents. Because if you look at the rule, it is absolute. You look at the law on foreign currency deposits, it's absolute. But when you look at jurisprudence from 1973, when it was first put, it was a opinion, and the Republic Act was in 1974, it was amended. Up until today, there have been 4 or 5 different cases that have relaxed one aspect or another aspect of the foreign currency deposit law. So the question is, if the Supreme Court in special instances have relaxed the rules, should not the Impeachment Court likewise do the same and allow of exceptions if it will meet, if it will not defeat, in order not to defeat the ends of justice.
Karen and Tony in the studio.
You know, in fact, in a discussion last night, I said maybe part of the amendments to the law would exclude or will exclude government officials from this provision. But that will take a longer track. But immediately, while you, like I said, no, when you read the law itself, it is clear, crystal. No? But jurisprudence forms part of the laws of our land. And jurisprudence, from the time that it was enacted up to today, would show that there are 4 or 5 instances, or 3 or 4 instances, wherein they relaxed the rules on absolute confidentiality, as well as other provisions of the said law. So, yun ang tanong eh. If the Supreme Court on 2 or 3 occasions chose to look the other way or relaxed certain provisions of the Foreign Currency Deposit Act, should not the Impeachment Court do the same? In special cases? And there were also discussions no, na sabi nila the foreigners might leave, etc. You know, we can't impeach foreigners, and we can't try them in. Only Filipinos will be subject to, in fact, high government officials. So these are discussions that continue to guide us until ultimately later we will probably have another focus.
What else can we expect this afternoon as far as the...
Well, I think the BPI account, of course, the foreign currency deposit.
the PS Bank?
Yes, and then yung dapat babalikan yung article. But I think baka yung dalawa pa lang publish din na natin.